My name is Ashley Moheski. I am 31 years old. I use AAC because I was born with cerebral palsy and I don't have coherent speech. I use a GridPad 13 via eye gaze from SmartBox. As a licensed mental health therapist, it is essential that more research is conducted on mental health within the AAC community, as it is an overlooked topic that does not get researched nearly enough, mainly due to the belief that AAC users aren't intelligent enough to struggle with their mental health.
My name is Mike Epple. I am living in Appleton, Wisconsin. I have cerebral palsy, so my throat and tongue does not work like everyone else does. I am using an Accent 1400 made by PRC with a program in Speak and Unity. We made some great way for studying things like reading and employment opportunities. But as the community, to my knowledge, we haven't really studying in the areas of education, math testing, and what they could be if they're in regular education all of the time. Include all types of people who use AAC, not just people like me who are great at using their device and have been around the community. We know how hard it is and what worked for us. Please let us help shape the future of our community so someone does not need to go through the same mistakes as we did.
My name is Francisco Pancho Ramirez. I live in Sonoma, California, in a nursing home. I suffered a car accident 21 years ago that led to a brainstem stroke, leaving me paralyzed and unable to speak. So I have to use an AAC device to communicate with people. I am using a speech-generating device from the Tobii Dynavox company and a head mouse. The mouse is called the Carzono. I can't communicate with anybody unless I am in my desk, close to my computer, or my AAC device. I could have my AAC mounted on my motorized wheelchair and bring it with me anywhere I go, but it is too bulky and blocks my visibility. I think researchers should include people with disabilities, people who need the help and are going to be the ones who use it at the end.
M-Y-M-A-N-E, my name. I-S-N-I-K-O, Nico. B-O-S-K-O-V-I-C. I-A-M-T-W-E-N-T-Y-T-W-O. I'm 22. Y-E-A-R-S. I have news for you, Miko. You're not 22. You're 23. Wait. Wait, what year were you born? 2001. Oh, no, you're going to be 23 this year. I'm sorry. I get it mixed up. Mama missed up. I mixed it up.
I would like there to be more attention given to understanding why non-speakers are so marginalized in general, and how technoabilism is being used to silence people like me. I'd like to see future generations of non-speakers get appropriate resources as a matter of course instead of being tucked away in self-contained classrooms or left to find their own interventions like my parents were. I really hope research looks at quality of life issues. By that I mean quality indices that are informed by both standard scales of quality as well as those identified by autistic people. We aren't going to get an accurate picture of what a nurtured autistic life can hold if we aren't including autistic voices.
My name is Esther Klang. I am 29 years old. I live in Brooklyn, New York. I use AAC because I have had trouble vocalizing and being understood since becoming a quadriplegic who has a tracheostomy. I also have vocal cord paralysis and shallow breathing due to a brain stem tumor removal surgery in 2006 at the age of 10. I'm using 2 devices to participate in this interview. I use Sesame Enable, a head tracking software that tracks my head movements using the device's camera. I also use the Speech Assistant app on my phone to speak for me. It is incredibly hurtful when people don't bother to ask for my input, or when they talk to my family member or caregiver instead of me, or talk to me in an overly sweet and slow voice, like when you talk to a child. I think that researchers should focus on the use of AAC in employment, accurate representation and use of AAC portrayed in media, education including higher ed, healthcare, communicating with government offices, and just everyday tasks like ordering a cup of coffee or buying a pair of shoes. Another priority should be making 911 accessible by text in all neighborhoods. Communication is a person's basic fundamental human right, and that right should never be taken away from anyone under any circumstances. It is the worst form of abuse.
My motor system is dependent on my regulation. They should really study strategies that help to regulate a non-speaker's apraxic sensory motor system. We are working for the greater public really to understand autism is not a cognitive challenge but a challenge to motor and sensory. I'm from South. Hackensack. I'm from South Hackensack, NJ. I have CP and I'm nonverbal due to my CP. I use Adobe Eye Gaze Bar with the Microsoft Pro 7 Plus. I'm a model, actress, children's author, and full-time Pew student majoring in pre-law, criminal justice, and criminology. I hope they can make ACC devices fully accessible for all ACC users and come up with a method that allows ACC users to communicate when ACC users don't have access to ACC devices.
My name is Sarah Price Hancock. I got my master's in rehabilitation counseling from San Diego State University, and I taught clinical psychiatric rehabilitation at the graduate level for 7 years. I share that up front because too many people do not presume competency when interacting with me. I use AAC because I live with the consequences of repetitive traumatic brain injury from repeated electrical injury in the form of electroconvulsive therapy, also known as ECT or shock treatment. In this video, I'm speaking to you from a Wigo 10A using Pro Loco 4 text, with my own voice synthesized through a cappella. I cannot indicate emotions by inflection or speed, or how loud I'm speaking. Far too many people living with acquired brain injuries aren't even assessed for speech-generating devices. This leads to isolation, depression, and suicide. I feel AAC users should be involved from the inception of the research, brainstorming the hypothesis to study, creating the methodology, and recruiting participants.
My name is Benjamin Smith. I use AAC because I am a non-speaking autistic and this is how I communicate.
So will the old say this?
Please read.
I'm overlooked all the time and constantly have to prove my capability as a person and as a student. This can get old. Whether in the community or at college, people make assumptions about me that are at best uninformed, but most often discriminatory.
My name is Yusun Chung. I live in Fairfax, Virginia. I use my AAC due to cerebral palsy, which affects my speech and mobility. I am using software called Easy Keys, spelled E-Z and Keys, which can be installed on any laptop or desktop. English is my second language, and I struggle with pronouncing English words. In my view, a potential future context-aware AAC system in a more compact format could be transformative, especially with the integration of cutting-edge technology, particularly through the integration of machine learning, ML, and artificial intelligence, AI. For instance, research could dive deeper into developing ML and AI algorithms that understand the user's context more comprehensively. This would include not just the immediate physical environment, but also the user's historical communication patterns, current activities, and social dynamics. For example, an AAC system that recognizes when the user is in a restaurant could prioritize food-related vocabulary, or if it is time for a regular appointment with a neurologist, it could highlight relevant terms and phrases. One underexplored area that comes to mind is emotional expression and detection within AAC. This means enabling users to convey not just the literal content of their messages, but also the emotional nuances and subtleties that accompany natural speech.
I am a second-year student at UC Santa Cruz studying cognitive science. I would like to have some documented research on the need and positive impact of communication and regulation partners for those with my autism profile, minimally verbal and significant apraxia dyspraxia. This research will clarify the need for CP and how it is an important role. There can always be guidelines on best practices to minimize influencing. I would like to have some documented research on generalization issues in autism, because there is a lot of debate on why I cannot communicate right away with any person. Having this research will help people realize that there is consistency and practice needed and that CP is not an instantly replaceable role. I would like to have some documented research on whether exposing someone to age-appropriate content increases the motivation to use AAC. Special day classes barely expose students to interesting age-appropriate academic content. Having a way to communicate gave me a purpose and helped me move with my ambitions to get a college degree. It has reduced my anxiety and frustration hugely. I want AAC research to help support endeavors in making systematic changes to improve access to age-appropriate education and self-determination autonomy in general. I also want AAC research to help provide access to those in systemically marginalized communities such as low-income or those in foster care. I envision the future AAC research to be led by AAC users.
My name is Catalina Verona. I live in Kansas. I use AAC because I have autism and dyspraxia, which makes it difficult for me to speak. I use an Accent 1000 device with LAMP words for life. Phone calls can be hard. I think researchers should study and find out the number of people who need AAC versus the number of people who have access to AAC. I've been to a day program for people with developmental disabilities. There were a lot of people there who couldn't meet their needs through speech, but who didn't have access to AAC. That makes me sad, and I wish I could help. I want them to know that I am a person and I want to communicate with my family and friends and my community just like anyone else.
My name is Devil, not Devil.
My name is Deva, not the devil.
Cat.
Kasnitz.
I am 73. Whoa. 74.
I am 74. And should I say the whole thing?
Yes, the whole thing.
Okay. I am 73. Whoops. I'm 74. Why do you use AAC?
Well, because I want to be understood.
Because I want to be understood.
This is a technique
This is a technique
called
revoicing.
Anything that helps cut down on the effort
Anything that helps cut down on the effort
that I have to put in
that I have to put in
to communicate
and
the effort that people have to put in
and the effort that people have to put in
will give you more time
will give me more time
and less anxiety.
And less anxiety.
And I will have more of a social life.
And I will have more of a social life.
And I will work faster.
And I will work faster.
I will have the opportunity to fully participate.
I want an opportunity to fully participate.
My bottom line.
Oh, my bottom line
is ask us
and
hire us
and hire us
and train us.
And train us.
Thank you.
Thank you.